Hi y'all, as you know, the greatest holiday ever is rapidly approaching. It's tomorrow, actually, so to celebrate with you, I wanted to do something special that we've never ever done before, and I'm out in Utah, just outside of Moab, and I've been trying to locate a uranium mine. I've been walking for most of the day now, but I think I'm getting kind of close. I'm not totally sure because I don't actually have actual coordinates for this place. I just kind of think that I know where it is. So we're gonna go check it out, see what there is to see. It could just be totally boarded up and we can't get in, but I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get there. But thank you for joining me on this Hallows Eve, and I hope that something interesting is there. So right now I'm setting everything up, trying to figure out this little mystery as to where the mine actually is. But all my roommates work the night shift except me, so they're asleep right now, despite it being the middle of the day, so I have to be quiet and do this. Pull this out of the trash. This is an old earpiece microphone, so there once upon a time was another piece attached to this wire end here that went to a headphone bit, and then you clip this to your lapel or something, you hold down the button, and then you can speak through it. And so I tried to make this into a lavalier mic, getting this little adapter piece here and putting that in to the life-proof adapter thing, and then hooking it into this attachment point, but that didn't work, so no lavalier yet, but hopefully eventually. Got a new phone case finally, so you no longer have to look at the destroyed one, and I'm trying out a pop socket, which is amazing. And we're fueling this fire with fruit-infused wild blueberry lemon from Cascadian Farms, where you can truly experience the magic of organic. Clues from the topography maps along with the soil profiles to try and analyze the most likely site for this particular mining operation, because all we have are the records of this guy named Cal Applewood, Dr. Cal Applewood. I'll tell you a little bit more about him later, but for now it's just an annoying mess, but it's fun. This is like, I don't like tabletop puzzles, but this is a floor top puzzle, I guess, and I'm enjoying it. Seems promising. Finally. Here it is. Hello? Well, I am absolutely terrified to do this alone, but doing it for y'all. I've got all the things I need, I think. So here we go, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna walk down into the mine with this, and that way if something happens I can just follow it back out, and I'll find my way out without getting lost, hopefully. That's my plan, anyway. No. I dropped me yarn. Ugh. Mine water. Not your water, but mine water. So I've been walking for about 45 minutes now. I think I'm about half a mile deep, maybe a little bit more. My yarn is running low, so that's a factor I'm taking into consideration. And also the camera light has died, so that's wonderful. But whenever you go into these situations, you should always bring multiple backup plans. So I have my headlamp here, I have my solar Lucy light, you know, I keep that thing on me. And I had the camera light, and I also have my power bank, my backup power bank. I brought two with me, and the backup has a flashlight on it, and then I also have an emergency flare with me if it really comes down to that, and a lighter. But the lighter is out of fluid, so probably should have fixed that before I came. But I wanted to stop here to share a little bit of the story of this mine and the person who actually founded it with you. And I chose this location because I just found something kind of interesting. I found 5 bullet shells here, and they're all 9mm shells, which is interesting to me. And they look pretty old. They're not totally rusted, but it is brass, so you wouldn't expect much aging on them. But they are down here. That's interesting, possibly a handgun or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so the mine was founded by this gentleman named Cal Applewood, and he started his shafting operation in 1932 in Clyde, which is in like northeastern England. And he set up a shafting operation actually in his yard with his family prior to World War II to actually start looking for coal, which I think is pretty interesting. And the coal that he mined went into the infrastructure for the city, and it was burned into steam engine plants, and which eventually generated electricity for the UK, which is pretty cool. In the year 1936, though, tragedy struck the Applewood family. Cal was deep into one of his mine shafts repairing a structural support while his son Devin played right around the corner. His wife, Clarice, was in charge of pushing the mine carts back and forth once they were loaded with the coal. So he would put the coal in there, and she would push it out of the mine and add it to the pile, and then somebody would eventually pay to come and collect it. So he's way back there trying to repair this beam. His son's just off playing in an empty coal pocket. So some weird stuff started happening here. He was repairing that kind of support beam up there, and this had been a reoccurring problem for the Applewoods. And originally they thought that the support beams were collapsing because there was too much weight on them. So in some places there would actually be 3 to 4 support beams within 2 meters of each other, which is way more than you see in most mining operations. And this strangely didn't help them stop collapsing. They continued to collapse. Actually, it got more frequent, and it didn't matter the amount of nails or hitches, the joists continued to fall apart. And the strangest thing is that this only happened when somebody was in the mine. It never happened when everybody was out of the mine. They would leave at the end of the day and come back the next morning and everything would be in the same condition that they left it, but as soon as they started work for the day, things started slipping out of their sockets. Devin Applewood, the son of Cal Applewood, was pretty young at this time. He was about 11 years old, and he had been experiencing very frequent nightmares of this creature coming in through his window and hiding underneath his bed. And the Clyde Historical Museum actually has a drawing that he made of the creature. Here it is for you to see. After consistently complaining about this creature coming in and keeping him awake at night, Clarice went and checked under the bed for him several times, and one time she found a collection of playing jacks that had been missing for quite a few weeks prior to finding them. They were just sitting under the bed, so she collected them and locked them in a drawer in Devin's bureau, and then placed a jam in the window. And after that, Devin stopped having nightmares of the creature sleeping below him. As the seasons changed from fall into winter, Devin continued to have more nightmares, but these nightmares were new. Instead of a creature sleeping below him, it was the same creature featured in his dreams, but this time the creature would come up to the window at the foot of his bed and just watch him sleep. And more often than not, he wasn't doing very much sleeping. All this and more is documented in Cal Applewood's medical journal. It's basically a diary that he kept, and he actually reserved the back of it for family matters such as these. And real quick, a very special thank you to Rose Krenicki at the Clyde Historical Museum for allowing me access to these pages, because it's very fascinating stuff. A lot of it I really didn't expect to see. These nightmares continued for several days. And at one point, Devin hadn't slept for 4 nights or more. The doctor, being very concerned for his son, yet being pretty skeptical, he devised a plan for him, and he set his son up on an armchair facing the window. He put a few pence in his hand and put a tin bucket beneath his arm on the armchair. And Devin sat there until his eyelids started to droop. He got a little tired, and the stars turned. The snow started coming down, just a gentle coating, and all seemed fine, and he fell asleep, and he woke up to the sound of the coins hitting the bottom of the bucket, opened his eyes, and there was nothing in the window frame save a bit of gently falling snow. And he slept peacefully that night. In the morning, though, him and his father went outside to break the ice for the horses, and what they saw chilled them to the bone. Leading out of the mine and directly up to Devon's window was a set of footprints in the snow with long, gnarled toes walking straight up to the window and making a deep impression, indicating that someone or something had been standing there for quite a long time. And the footsteps led back into the mine, out of the snow, and they lost the trail. And the strangest thing is this: the footprints had a light dusting of black coal powder in them. Being a reasonable man, the doctor assumed that it must have been one of the neighborhood kids playing a prank on them, despite no other footprints leading through the snow and into the mine, and despite the nearest neighbor being over 10 miles away. Next, the doctor came up with a pretty simple solution. He nailed boards of wood in front of his son's window so that nothing could look in. Unfortunately, his son also couldn't look out, but that's a small price to pay for such a thing. So, instead of staying awake all night, Devon was now able to sleep, but that didn't stop sets of footprints appearing every few nights, walking out of the mine, stopping at the window, and going back in. And I find it hard to believe that the cracks in the wood were so tight that if someone really wanted to peek through, they couldn't. So all was relatively peaceful for a little while, for most of the winter, and as the season started to change again, as the snow started to melt, the family woke up in the middle of the night to a loud rapping on their door. The doctor and his wife approached the large wooden door, the doctor holding a brand new, never-fired shotgun. They swung the door open, and nobody was there, but to their horror, a crow was nailed through the throat to the oak wood. And this gave rise to the name that the family gave this being, this creature. They called it the crower, because this kind of behavior would continue. Over the course of the next 3 months, 2 more crows would be nailed to the house. 1 more on the back door, and 1 through the glass and onto the wooden boards on Devon's window. Whoa. What? No way. There's no way that's real. The joints are still connected. There's some kind of really old paper. Oh, I can barely read cursive. Maybe I'll take that as a souvenir. Yeah, I really didn't expect to find this. I don't know what to do with this now. Looks pretty old. I guess I probably shouldn't leave it here. Okay. Well, it looks like we're walking through 1950s uranium mines with human arms now. More human arms than I normally have. So that's fun. I feel like it is time to go. Oh! CD. Calf pull-in made simple? Sorry. Well, I guess I've already touched your arm. Hello? Let's try again. I'm gonna try again.
Oh, this is 911. What's your emergency?
Hello? Yeah, I'd like to. I found a body.
Yo, what? That's crazy, dude. Where are you?
I'm in uranium mine. I have coordinates I can send you for the entrance.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you want, but it's Friday, so like I'm chilling with the boys. And, yeah, but I'll talk to you later, though. I mean, that sounds pretty.
Wait.
So,
Hello? Hello? All right. Okay. Well, I guess this is Cow Applewood. Sorry, Doc. Okay, what is that sound? No. No. This is not taught anymore. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking. Whoa. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay. Let's keep going. Breathe for a second. There's something following us. And the power bank is dead, and the Lucy light is almost dead. But I don't know how far we are out. I made a bunch of wrong turns. I can't think right now. No.